Hi, welcome to Astrology for Gann Traders. My name's Olga Morales. Now, today I'm going to do a really quick video on my favorite topic, obviously WD Gann, and where we are this time of year, because it really brings in a lot of his work, but also biblical cycles, trading cycles, seasonal dates. It's all involved. And the real Lions Gate, I've called it, because 8/8 is actually an important time of the year, and it actually all goes back to the eighth harmonic. And yeah, so I want to explain to you how this is all linked, and I'm sure you'll be amazed. So let's get started. So 8/8, the 8th of August, is there's a big deal. People are calling it the Lions Gate, which is really a contemporary name that they've given to a very important time in the year. But if you're a trader and you've studied Gann, or maybe you're interested in studying Gann, it's very interesting also in terms of numerology, because 8 is supposed to be the number of money. Okay, but the August places, when we look at the whole year, in terms of degrees, remember we start at the equinox at 0 degrees of Aries, which is really the beginning of the year, especially the astrological year, astronomical year. That's where we start right ascension from. And from that point, on the 8th of August, the sun is actually 15 degrees of Leo, which is 135 degrees, okay? And this comes in with all the geometry of Gann's work. So when you divide 360 degrees, the dial is the wheel, by 8, you get 45 degrees, which is exactly Leo at 15. That's 3 times 45. So it falls right on the 8th part of the zodiac and the solar cycle. And Gann talked about the seasons, which I'll explain to you, and the mid-seasons. So let's have a look at the next slide. This is where we start putting these dates on the on our trading charts, because Gann had seasonal dates and mid-seasons, and they're all to do with well-known parts of the cycle. And we've got the ingress points when the sun moves into the cardinal signs, which are these blue lines. And then we have the mid-seasons when the sun moves into the fixed signs, which are every 45 degrees. So every 45 degrees, 45 days, we get a new point on the solar wheel or the calendar, okay? And these were really important for observational. And anywhere you go in the world, when you go to a science circle or cathedrals or anything that's designed, like the Great Pyramid of Giza, they're always anchoring on these 4 cardinal points, obviously because they're the directions on the earth, but there's also the cross points, okay? That's a cross within the circle, and then the 8 points, okay? So when you then look at, this is one of my favorite, it's called the square of 9 of Gann, but which I believe he found in Egypt when he was there, because it's also called the Pythagorean cube, okay? But what I've done on the outside, I've put the dates, and you can see the crosses. So we've got this cross is the cardinal cross. So they're the ingress points. You can see this is our equinox point, the solstice, the other equinox, the autumn, if I'm talking about the northern hemisphere, and the winter solstice here in Capricorn. And these degrees are very important in Gann's work. But at the moment, what I want to show you, when the sun is at 135 degrees, like today on the 8th of August, you can see this is called the fixed cross. These are all the fixed signs: Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, okay? Now, anywhere you go, I'm going to show you, I travel a lot. If you go to churches, cathedrals, basilicas, you can see these in mosaics, you can see it in carvings. I'll show you what I mean. They are the 4 fixed signs, okay? And they're actually really important. So if you go back, okay, they were known as, this is called the cosmic cross. They were known as the 4 royal stars. And 4000 BC, was during the time of when the equinox, when Aldebaran, which is the eye of the bull, this is the time of the age of Taurus, okay? And if you go, you have a lot of symbolism, Taurus is everywhere. But this is like 4000 BC when it would have been at the spring equinox. These are the ages, okay? So now we are supposed to be going into this area here, to Aquarius, which we're on the cusp of it, okay? And the star there is actually a big fish. It's the mouth of the fish, and this is called Fulmar, probably pronounced it incorrectly, but these were known as the four royal stars. So opposite Aldebaran, the bull's eye, is the Scorpion, okay, the heart of Scorpio, which is Antares. Then Regulus, which is the Leo that we're talking about, was there. Regulus is the heart of the lion. Okay, so these are the four royal stars. Now, when they started getting into the Bible, religious, they started putting the four archangels connected to the four fixed stars. Okay, so Archangel Michael is supposed to be connected to Aldebaran, which are also Regulus was supposed to be Raphael, and Antares, yes, with Uriel, and then Gabriel was with Fomalhaut, okay? But have a look at this. Now, as I said, I travel a lot and I take photos everywhere. Now, this is from Notre Dame, Paris. I went there a few times. And this is Jesus inside it's called the Vesica Pisces, which really is a geometrical shape of two circles in the middle, okay? But then around him, you can see the four fixed stars or four fixed signs. You can see the eagle is Scorpio, the angel is always Aquarius, Leo the lion is Regulus, and the bull is Taurus. Now, they are also the four and evangelic in the Bible, okay? And they're everywhere. So I want to show you too, when you look at, this is a mosaic in a manuscript of Jesus again, with the four fixed signs around around the Vesica Pisces. And then, of course, in the tarot, we've got the world card, and we've got exactly the same symbol about these four fixed signs. So the whole that fixed cross that Gann uses in his mid-seasons is actually something that has been known anciently for thousands and thousands of years, okay? So look at Revelation. Revelation, we have the four horsemen, and they are known to have an impact on us, okay? The whole symbolism there. And in Revelation 12:7, it says there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought off against the dragon, and the dragon fought his angels. So you can see who Michael's related to. I've just given you a clue previously. So understanding these symbolism is really important when you start going down the Gann rabbit hole, as I have for the last 22 years now. It opens you up to everything. I mean, obviously, I know the astrology, but the symbolism is really in plain sight. And because I travel to all these places, I look for it everywhere. And, like a lot of the cathedrals were built by esoteric secret societies like the Templars, and they left clues everywhere for you to discover. And so that, part of my travels is what I'm looking for. And even in my book Conversations with Gann, I talk to Gann in my conversations with him about all this symbolism that I've learnt through the years of my study and research. So you can see that 8-8 is actually very important because it is really the Leo mid-season at 135 degrees. And I talk about this in Conversations again. But if you are wanting to learn more about the trading aspect of it, okay, so you've got the symbolism. How do you then apply it? Well, this is all in my courses. If you're interested, I've got level 1, which gives you the foundation, and I've just recently put out level 2, which goes a little bit more advanced, and then there'll be level 3 when we get into some really serious Gann analysis. But this is the starting point. So you can see that the ancient people, the secrets were hidden in plain sight for us to remember one day. And isn't it amazing that these 4 fixed signs are actually our eighth division of the whole circle or the zodiac? And they're very important. And they are very important, obviously, now because we have Pluto in Aquarius. Okay. And we have also the lunar nodes that I've done a recording on already. They are going through the Aquarius Leo axis. So we've got a lot of this going through this part of the circle. So you need to know, it's like you have to know where these degrees are. And remember, the Gann was actually converting degrees to price. Okay, that is like when I started learning about Gann myself, teaching myself, I didn't learn from anyone, I taught myself. When I started converting planetary longitude to price, that was the most exciting thing I could ever have discovered, and also putting his planetary lines on the chart. So it gets very exciting applying this. And thanks for listening. So just remember, 8-8 is very important. It's 8th harmonic, it's a mid-season, and it's Leo. So thanks for listening, and Regulus. Please subscribe if you're interested in learning more.